episode 145, the quest for LX. The Birds are in the playoffs. We couldn't be happier than to be here with you guys for another episode of the City Pigeons.
Whoa. Pump the brakes, dude. Pump the brakes.
What?
PHLY.
What happened?
Cheap seats.
I thought that...
No. Cheap seats. I do the intro, then you go.
Oh, we did. I do recall that we talked about that.
We talked about
this. And I'm so excited about the Birds playoffs that
That's a flag on the play. That's a false start on this
a
guy right here.
flag on the
flag
play.
on the play, false start. But the Cheap Seats crew is so excited to be here with the City Pigeons podcast, doing a joint podcast, getting ready for the playoffs, Eagles versus 49ers at Lincoln Financial Field this Sunday. How you boys feeling about it?
Think?
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Oh boy.
I know.
I think we just shorted the audio circuits on that.
We just blew it out. All the
The
mics
producer
out,
was just covering her ears.
Listen, we couldn't be more excited about this, to pull off the first ever joint podcast. I don't know if this has been done in the history of podcasts. I'm sure somebody did it. But for Philly sports, I think this is the first time it's been done. And I appreciate you guys and rolling with us on this. I'm excited to talk Birds. Couldn't be more excited to kick off this playoff run. And I want to hear real quick, I want to hear from my man Black Gritty because, listen, I've been listening to radio for years and years and years. This guy is a stalwart. I'm hearing him day in, day out. And to meet him in person and to be able to chop it up with him, it's like a life dream coming true. Black Gritty, what up?
Thank you for having me on Mount Caucasus. I appreciate the invite. Being here is one of my life's achievements, and you were right to come to me first.
Absolutely.
The Philadelphia Eagles are going to destroy the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be one of the greatest days of your life.
That's how you set it off.
The sun is going to be shining. It's 51 degrees. The 49ers are going to be on their knees. It's an exciting time for Philadelphia right now. Brock Purdy, I can't wait until his elbows start shaking because you're going to be having flashbacks, PTSD. It's just a great time. Shanahan tree. Shanahan versus my dumb idiot coach, and he's going to lose again. All these sexy, smart guys keep losing to this moron. Week in, week out, Super Bowl appearance after Super Bowl appearance, and it's going to happen again. And it just feels good to know that I'm on the right side of history here on Mount Caucasus. I appreciate you guys.
Black Gritty is good. Maybe we should start by introducing everybody. I am Jesse Rendell. With me is Mike Meach and Eric Fink. Say what's up, boys.
Good evening.
Hello.
These are one half of the City Pigeons crew. Somehow we got a deep roster of 6 guys, and we are going to be...
We're going to make subs later.
Yeah, we're going to be rotating in because we got depth. We're like the Eagles' defensive line. We got depth, all right? So I'm going to come over to you guys and let you do your thing over there.
Well, I'm E-Rock. I'm E.
Absolutely.
This is my good friend Jason Ashworth, and of course Black Gritty, who set it off properly by setting the tempo. Thank you, Black Gritty.
You're welcome.
Because I know my friend to my right, Jason Ashworth, is going to feel some sort of way about the upcoming matchup. So just can we start it off with just like a warm...
Don't throw me under the bus.
Like a 49ers fan, closet
negativity?
49ers.
No. He likes to do this. Like he likes to create the drama, build the drama. I mentioned one thing to him earlier, and now he's got to create a show out of it. I'm glad that you're confident, and that's good, and that's all well and good. I don't know what any of us have seen over the last X amount of weeks to tell us, for us to be so arrogant, to be so ignorant, to act as if we're going to walk all over the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, no, like on Sunday, this all changes. On Sunday, I'm going to bleed green just like everybody else, and I'll be a fan just like everybody else. But for me, I'm hearing everybody a little too fat and happy. I'm hearing everybody act like this is going to be a cakewalk. I got news for you. And we could talk about Shanahan, and we can create whatever matchup we want. We can break it down however you want to break it down. Kyle Shanahan knows how to win in the playoffs. He's 6-0 in the wild card and divisional round. Granted, yes, I know he lost to the Eagles in 2022, right, in the NFC Championship, but this boy knows how to get his guys ready. And I'm not telling you the Niners are going to win. Let's get off that train. But it will be a football game. I'm just hearing a lot of confidence. Right. I'm hearing a lot of puffing of the chest. You kicked it off right. I'm just telling you, I ain't on that train. I think it's going to be 4 quarters of football, and we all got to kind of strap in.
And real quick.
Go ahead.
In this economy, being fat and happy is something everybody wishes for. Just so you know, I'm doing all right.
You rich. You rich.
I'm doing all right.
Beautiful.
Just so you know.
Meech,
now listen, in both of the Eagles' prior Super Bowl runs, the first game of the playoffs was the toughest game. But like I'm looking at, and I thought last year the Rams game, I thought we would kill them once the snow came into effect. But that actually helped, it evened it out and helped them. This year, I don't see how this depleted Frisco defense, even though they did hold the Seahawks to 13 points last week, right? It was almost the same defense, but like they're hiring guys off the street to play linebacker this week. I just see that as a time for Saquon to get his game back, for Jalen to start running up the middle, and then everything else just opens up easy. I'm looking at an easy victory coming up this week, but I mean, it's just
there it is.
It's not an arrogant thing. I just looking at it.
So arrogant.
Just looking at it objectively, I just think they're way better than the Niners. They're proven, they're tested. Shanahan's a good coach, but how much can you coach when all your guys are out? Now, Ricky Pearsall's injured.
So I'll just ask this question. Like, outside of the Raiders, right, how many easy victories have the Eagles had this year?
Zero.
So why do we think in the playoffs against Shanahan, a 12-win team, that all of a sudden it's just going to be easy?
Listen, you can't explain it. It's just it's something that comes to you this time of year.
Sure.
But I think anybody who's watched the Eagles over the past however many years they've had so much success knows that there are ebbs and flows of the season. It's all about momentum. It's all about how they feel in that locker room, right? And to me, I was actually doing a little research. I watched a little of the Cheap Seats episode before the Buffalo game. Heard you guys.
You were the one.
Heard you guys. I was
you were the one.
I liked it. Subscribed. No, but I was watching that, and if we think about that game, right, you guys were kind of going back and forth, like, how should we approach it? But, we go up and we win that game. And granted, did we not have a completion in the second half? No, we didn't. But I think that kind of stuff doesn't matter as much to the team, right? The idea that we went in there in pouring rain, came out of there with a victory, a hard-fought victory, just cemented with the team that we can beat any team. And then doing that and then taking the week off, having some rest. Like, I really believe we've seen it, right? We've heard Chris Long say anybody could have got it that night. Meek Mill, dreams and nightmares. There's a vibe to the Eagles winning in the playoffs, right? And I just feel like regardless of what happened this season, this team has that vibe right now. They've been there. They know what it takes. And I think they are ready to go. I honestly believe that. And it's very hard to look at what they've done this year and just be like, oh, no big deal. They're not that bad. And who knows? Maybe they could come out and the offense is totally dysfunctional. But I just feel like they believe. Lane's coming back. Jalen's coming back. I honestly just believe they believe there's nobody that can beat them. Now, I will say this.
And that defense.
Let's go.
We didn't even get
Yeah,
there yet. Talking about that defense.
No. You had your time.
Are
You had
we
your time.
scared about
go.
Brock
No.
Purdy coming into the
Thank
league
you,
with
Fink.
his defense?
Thank
You
you,
watched the
Fink.
Eagles' defense the last few weeks. They get me so excited, man. Like, that is
How excited?
I know, man.
He said they get
That's
me
the excitement
so
I'm talking
excited.
about too.
That's a
This
Jamie
is a
Lynch
championship
storyline
caliber
right there.
defense, and I'm just not. There's no one, and I know this is gonna sound cocky, and I know the offense. There's no one in the NFC that scares me offensively.
Okay, I think it's important.
The Stafford
agree.
and the
I agree.
Rams, I
No, I
think
agree.
they could give us. Obviously, we've been in battles with them, but this defense is just buzzing. There's something about this defense right now. It's just they can take us to the promised land on their backs, and I believe that.
I think we do have to give these guys some context, right? Because, like, you guys have had plenty of episodes leading up to this. We've had episodes leading up to this. These two guys have been on the we're fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys know what they're doing. Doesn't matter. Why is everybody worried? They've been riding that. Fink routinely predicts that the Eagles are going to win 14 to 16 games. He rides. I've called
was
it
right last year.
Listen, I've called it just homerism flat out, but somehow it seems to work out for him. I have been the one who's been really anxious about what's been going on, and that's because I've got scars from years past that somehow don't seem to go away. But that's where they're coming from. And part of me thinks they're like, this is house money because of the Super Bowl last year. That's not where I'm at, right? Back to back, let's go get it. So just so you have a little context, these guys are really, they've been all about this all year. They're not worried.
And I think I come from the same place, right? So I have scars, right? I've seen this team play for 45 years. Like, I've
What
seen
are we
this story
sitting on the
before,
couch
right?
at the therapist and talking about scars right now?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
It's
just saying.
playoff football. This
You're
is
asking me why I
Philadelphia.
think what I think. I'm telling you why I
My
think what I
dad
think.
didn't hug me enough. I got
have-
scars. Playoff football right now, bro.
I get you. And they say if you're scared, get a dog. I got a dog, a Great Dane, a big-ass dog, and I'm still scared. All right? The reason being that has nothing to do with the defense. I agree 1,000,000%. This is a championship-level defense, an elite defense, top 3 in the NFL. They can carry the load. But at some point over playoff football, the offense has to do their part. I'm just not a guy. I don't believe in Kevin Patullo. That's just me, right? That's just fair. So at some point when their number's called, right, and when Vic's balling out and it's a one-score game, a low-scoring game, can they make enough plays? Does anybody here, and correct me if I'm wrong, does anybody here have confidence currently in the offense?
No, and I totally get what you're saying. And I mean, even last week, Kevin Patullo had, so many chances to get that right. And, he doesn't even give Tank the ball in the fourth quarters. It's just crazy play calling on his part. The offense, the routes they're running, it's a bunch of hitch routes. It's really basic. It's corny. I'm hoping that they either take it away from him in the playoffs or something
Take it away
clicks.
from the playoffs.
Nope.
It's not happening.
But here's the other thing. Every single week I hear, you can't keep winning like that. You can't keep, and then they just keep winning like that. So if they win 13-10 games, I don't give a shit. It's almost going to be more enjoyable.
Yeah. Tell them what your dream is.
My dream is they win every single game, and the Super Bowl is one of those boring ass 10-3 games, and everyone complains about how they won for the next year. Well, I just
hey. No one will be complaining if they win the Super Bowl.
No, people will. People were complaining 6 months after they won the Super Bowl because they didn't like how the quarterback was playing. It's insane what we're going
you get
through.
that taste and you
House
want
money,
more,
I'm telling
Mitch.
you.
Yeah. On our show, for the better part of the season, and it was a frustrating season, right? There was a lot of highs, there was a lot of lows. I did a lot of intros in my thing where I was ready to just jump off a bridge. I was like, with the championship DNA the next week. God damn, this team stinks. Next week, we got this thing. We kept comparing it. We spent the better part of the season comparing this team to either 2024 or 2023. Which one is it? 2024 or 2023? Right. And this guy to my right kept saying, no, it's not either of them. It's the 2025 Eagles. And Jason Ashworth, even though you sit here today and you were incorrect in your statement about the 49ers, you were correct in the middle of the season when you said it's neither one. It's the 2025 Eagles. And now I see it. Is this team going through the type of surge that they had last year when they won the Super Bowl? No, they're not. Are they having the decline and the epic collapse that they had at the end of the 2023 season? No, they're not. The reason I feel confident going into the playoffs is because I see it in the team. I see it in the way the teams are talking. I saw the first episode of Hard Knocks where Brandon Graham's talking to Nick Sirianni, and he says to him, listen, as soon as this thing clicks, we're this close. As soon as this thing starts clicking, I saw it starting to click. I saw the offense start to get an identity. And the way this defense is playing, the offense just needs to be mid. That's it. I need 21 to 24 points. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's a lot for this offense. But if you look at what they were scoring last year.
Averaging 22, 23 a game?
22.
Yeah. So I just need them to be mid and not turn the ball over. And this defense will lead us to a championship. Sure, the 49ers, you look at Shanahan and Brock Purdy is the perfect quarterback matched up with the perfect head coach and an offensive system. The offense, I think, this Sunday, you were going to see them click more than they've ever have before. Because
They better.
Yeah, they better.
That
And they're
defense
going
stinks.
to. They're going to.
Okay.
What was the scoff for, Gritty? What was the scoff for?
First of all,
from Mount
we
need more Gritty.
We're averaging 16 points a game. I don't know where this 23 average
For the
came from.
season is 21.6.
Okay, after a couple of pumped up numbers in the beginning of the season.
Numbers are numbers.
I'm talking about since the bye week, we've averaged 16 points. That's a more 8-game whatever.
22.3. I'm looking at it right now.
Cool. Again, imagine that. Imagine that. I've watched 10 and 3, and shut up. We're not scoring any points right now. And the thing you said about the coach is the problem. Why did he let Tank Bigsby run in the fourth quarter? Any moron can give you any excuse you want. You're still an idiot because Shipley was there. So even if you were saving him and you didn't want to get him hurt, why isn't Shipley getting a run?
Right.
Because this kid plays Madden and his boss plays Madden with him, and they're idiots. And how are we going to make it to the Super Bowl? Supreme talent, and the Lord bless Jalen Hurts with a brain. Okay? A brain that has 4 different coordinators, and when he has a good one, he gets to the Super Bowl. So I'm hoping that this one just gets out of the way, and they go where they need to go, because Nick's not going to help them. After every game, he said, well, why didn't you run the ball? The same coach that forgot to throw a pass to a tight end, then called a whole game, forgot to run the ball for a whole game. These are 2 monkeys running my billion-dollar organization, and I still think we're going to get the Super Bowl. I still think we're going to beat the 49ers. Do you know why? Fear and intimidation. I got Jalen Carter busting through the wall like the Kool-Aid man, and everybody else gets to feast off him. Jomo ain't nobody. Hunt is nobody. You put him back out there. What happened? Hunt's out here getting interceptions. It's amazing when you put a king right there and just let everybody else work and feast. The defense, you want 24 points? Defense going to get an interception, scoop or pick six. They're at least going to help us out that way.
That's
Get
all
us
right,
down
yeah.
to the 5 yard line.
We're going to need a couple turnovers.
Exactly.
It's all right.
So that's where you get the 20 points from. That's where it's going to come from.
Yeah, we
The
started
defense.
talking off about the 49ers and the upcoming matchup. And,
we got right into it.
Which is great. But I'm just curious. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but of course it's a
Got
big
to.
topic of conversation in Philadelphia through sports talk radio, this entire thing. I'm just curious where you guys land on this. Or did you agree with the decision to sit them? Would you rather have played the starter, go for the 2 seed? Where do you stand on that?
Yeah. So this is tough, I think, because you got to consider we're in a different era here with the Eagles, right? There was a time when the idea that you would sit your starters when there was something legitimate to be gained, that would have been blasphemous. And no coach would have ever dared to do that because the fan base would have absolutely shredded him. That's probably pre-2 Super Bowl championships, right? And the interesting thing is now Nick knows that the fan base is so focused on winning Super Bowls, and if he says we want to rest starters and the starters all go along with it, that even if the Bears somehow end up winning and we end up losing, he's going to get away with it. And that's exactly what happened. I can't say that he played that hand wrong. What I know is this. Every Super Bowl run that we have had in the 21st century has not included an away playoff game. I said that before, and I think that's accurate. If anyone thinks it's not, please let me know. I don't recall the Eagles getting.
If anyone has the internet,
that's correct. That's correct. Jason, thank you. I don't recall any Eagles team going on the road and fighting their way to the Super Bowl with multiple home game or away games, and that's exactly what could happen depending on everything else that goes on. So I think there's a lot at stake.
Well,
and
here's my counterpoint to that is there hasn't been an Eagles playoff Super Bowl run where they haven't rested the guys the week before or gotten a bye. If you get a bye, that's one thing.
Right.
If not,
That's
you got to
fair.
rest the guys. I think that was the right move. I totally think but I do think it would have been funny if that last drive where they needed to score, they brought out Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, the entire fucking offensive line, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard.
Or they could have ran the ball and kicked 2 field goals.
Or they could have did that. That would have been the easy one. But the difficult one would have bring the whole team back.
you know what's funny?
in.
My wife and kids kept asking me, like, why don't they do that? And I couldn't really explain to them why.
that was
when
totally
you tell
a
them they're
wife
not
and
playing,
kids
they
answer to
can't
the-
just all of a sudden go in there. So, yeah,
But it would
that
have been
would have been
fun.
good theater there for sure. I mean, what did you guys think? I do recall watching the episode where you're talking about Buffalo. You guys were debating legitimately resting. I'm just going to the tape here, guys. No, I'm not trying to be a jerk about this, but I do believe you were considering resting some, if not all, of the starters for the Buffalo game. So where did you come out on what just happened in the last game?
I firmly was against that. I believe in momentum. Nobody in the history of
That's
nobody has
accurate.
rested starters for 2 weeks in a row and had any sort of success in the postseason. I think the only, and Seamus, maybe you can refresh my memory on this. The only time I think it happened was like the 97 Jags or the 98 Jags that they were like the 1 seed. They rested. They had the bye week in the bag, but they also rested their starters the last week of the season.
2004 Eagles
Okay.
rested the last 2 weeks.
The rest.
Theo got hurt that year too, so they were probably a little bit more cautious than usual.
Okay.
So it's important that we point out. It's important that we point out we have a noteworthy guest. In
Yes,
the man, the
very
myth, the
noteworthy.
legend,
Seamus Clancy.
Very
Give it up,
noteworthy.
Seamus Clancy. By the way,
You should have a seat up
That's
here.
my Reuben Frank. That's why I had to defer to the expert that actually knows
no,
what they're talking
we're gonna
about.
have to get him up at some point to
Oh, yeah.
give.
Was,
give
was that the
his
Mark
take.
Brunell, Fred Taylor?
Yes,
Jacksonville
yes.
joke? Jimmy
yes,
Smith,
Tom
Jacksonville joke?
Coughlin.
You know,
Tom
we gotta. We have a Jags fan. Okay, I just want
I
to
know-
listen real quick. I just want to. This is
He's no longer a
I've
Jags
got
fan.
questions about a couple things.
Okay.
So do I,
So
by the
this
way.
this is a relevant aside because we have a guy in the building tonight who used to be a diehard Jags fan. I blame
Okay.
his family; they didn't raise him correctly. But we exercise those demons and we baptize him as an
Oh, that's
Eagles
good.
fan. So he's
That's
back.
good. What was the holy
he's an
water? Like,
Eagles
what-
fan.
the holy water?
We just had him put his
We
hand
had
on something.
Big Dom spit in a cup.
That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll exercise
Yeah,
the
we did
demons.
this at a tailgate. We actually properly, baptized him.
Italians got some
So-
weird traditions.
But here's the
man.
thing.
Like, don't
and
think
you know what he had to do? He had a Fred Taylor jersey, Mark Brunell. He had socks, and he had to get rid of all that stuff. Now I think he probably has some.
You
stuff in his
had
house.
Jags socks?
Yeah, he had Jag socks.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
Jags made diehard fans.
They
You had
did.
Jags
They
socks?
did.
That's impressive.
Anyway, I don't want to pick on
But
the
I,
guy.
but I have to move over to the right here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Love the jacket. What's with the jersey?
All right.
underneath the jacket?
So
what
here's
is
what I'm going to do,
happening
real quick. We're
Yeah.
going to delay that only because
Okay.
that's Mark Goodhart. He's one of the deep players on the City Pigeons
He's a
roster.
fellow Pigeon.
He is going to come up here, and
Okay.
I promise you, he will explain why he has a Chargers
Is it
jersey on.
Winslow?
He might sit in that seat because he looks like my older brother, right?
Yeah,
You
he
know
looks
what I mean?
good.
It might be a
There's not a
Winslow.
lot of hair here, you know what I mean? And that's
Yo,
fine.
by the way, I noticed that.
Yeah, it's
A lot
just,
of bald dudes around
what are you going to
here.
do, man? You know, it's just
I felt
what
like I
happens.
didn't get the memo.
he
I
let
should
it
have
out.
I should have wore a hat to like offset the.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot
you
of lighting.
usually wear a hat. Where's
I
the
do.
damn
Julie, I
hat?
apologize for like ruining the glare on the camera. That's
Nah,
my
listen,
bad.
we're keeping it real out here. That's what we do. But I do agree. We got a little ahead of ourselves talking about this week. We didn't talk about the starters. We do have to think about how that impacts the path, right? And so one question I had for you guys is, now that it's set, right? Okay, they rested the starters, is what it is. We didn't win 3 seed instead of the 2 seed. Now we're looking ahead.
Kill myself.
And you don't have to kill yourself. Okay, so what I was wondering for you guys is, we're looking at this first round playoff matchup, and you got a whole weekend of football, which is fantastic. These games are all amazing. We're going to be locking in on Saturday. We're going to watch this game Saturday night. And so what I want to find out from you guys is, how should we collectively feel like we're watching this game on Saturday night, right? Because you got 2 different scenarios, right? Either you're rooting for the Bears to win, right? Because you feel like us going and playing the Bears, and this is obviously assuming we take care of business. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I'm just going to do that. You know, Bears win.
Is
We
that
got
okay? Just want to
Is that
check.
cool with
Make
you?
sure that's okay.
Hey, go for it.
So
Do you?
You know, we root for the Bears.
We have
or-
to look at every scenario being we win and
Yeah, no,
this
absolutely.
happens.
We have
Absolutely,
to explore.
yeah.
We have to explore, and you know, and because there were implications on the resting thing, and if the Packers win, and let's just assume the Rams are going to win, we have to
got the
make some
Rams coming
assumptions
down.
for the sake of argument. Then the Rams would come here. We get another home game. Would we rather be at home playing the Rams, or would we rather go to Chicago? Because I know Eagles fans are going to be locked into that game on Saturday night. How are we looking at the game? What do you guys think?
So I think it kind of ties into the earlier question with you rest your starters and go after that 2 seed, all that. Because I'll kick that back to you and say, how important is home field to you? Would you rather have a home field matchup against an opponent that we're probably a little more tentative or cautious with? Chicago doesn't scare me. I'll say that. I said Chicago didn't scare me when they came in and boat raced us. I think they're a fraud team. I don't believe in Caleb Williams at all. I'd like to see what he's going to do in the postseason. I'll take my chances with Caleb Williams in the postseason against this defense. For me, I'd look at it and say, no, go ahead, Bears. Go ahead, Chicago. Right? I have no problem traveling to Chicago to take on that team. Ideally, though, if you can get... I'll say it, too, and I know earlier I told you I'm kind of dancing on thin ice with the Niners. I'll echo your point, Fink, that there's not anybody in the NFC that scares me. Do I believe in home field advantage? I do. That's kind of... That was my issue with how last week played out. We talk about how big and bad the link is and how impactful our fans are and how raucous it gets, and just that's a vibe. You come into the link, that's a vibe. Definitely. So to like give that away and say it's not that important because we just got to rest our guy. To me, I kind of had a little issue with that. But ultimately, there's not anybody in the NFC I fear. So for me,
You don't even care what happens.
I don't.
Hell yeah.
Right? I don't.
Which one of your shows usually wrong?
I'm always wrong.
Well,
Go
all I
ahead,
know is
say
this.
it.
It's definitely not me. It's definitely not me. So it's probably one of these guys. It's probably one of these
It's
guys.
a staple on our show.
We
This
could,
is a staple.
We could dump it on one of the other 3 guys that aren't here. I'm just trying to figure out which one of you guys is wrong because I know who's
Which
wrong.
one's
around
the
here.
mark?
You just waxed poetically about not worrying about the Bears, but you're worried about Brock Purdy and the Wonder Twins coming in here and do, like all he has is McCaffrey and no defense.
Yeah.
The Bears got 3 running backs, 19 young receivers, a genius coach who's out here flexing, taking his shirt off, got his nipples hard in my locker room, got the whole team rejuvenated and healthy, but you ain't worried about nobody.
I don't
in the
worry
NFC.
about Caleb Williams. I think he stinks. That's me.
I think Brock Purdy stinks.
Okay, fair.
But I mean, the whole team's hurt though. That just sounded crazy to me. The caution that you put upon all of us about don't get fat and happy.
I never said I was rational. I didn't say I was
Definitely
rational.
not rational.
The correct answer to that is go Pack Go, because you want the Rams back here, divisional round matchup. Because honestly, I think that's Seattle. Here's the thing: when you have a Sam Darnold, when you have like a Chicago and Williams, and you have these first-time head coach, it's very reminiscent on like the Eagles, right? When it was Sirianni and Hurts, right? They made it to the playoffs, but they weren't quite ready. Sometimes hey, that's great, good for you. You got the 1 and the 2 seed, go get them, Tiger. But sometimes when you're not ready yet, you're good, you're not ready yet. When you take a look at the Rams, when you take a look at Green Bay, with San Francisco, Philadelphia, these are teams with a lot of head coach, quarterback, playoff experience. The lights are bright. We know the drill. This isn't our first rodeo. There is an opportunity here where if like the cards fall the right way, we're still home field advantage through, right? I mean, there's an opportunity, slim chance, but there's an opportunity there. I think as long as you get the Rams back at home, you're able to take care of that. The Rams are still like the most dangerous team, in my opinion, out there. It's not. I don't think it's Seattle.
Okay, so
I agree with you.
So to hear me out, to your point, team's not ready, right? And why I kind of lean on Chicago. The Rams are ready.
Yeah, Rams are
right. The Rams are ready. We talk about a team
I
that's
want
not
them at
ready.
home.
To me, Chicago's not ready. And you can fact check me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it 2002 where the Bears were like 13-3 and they leaned on their defense with a lot of turnovers and the Eagles went in?
That's a long time ago. That was like graduating
Like
college. I don't.
Was it one? Right, and the Eagles went into Chicago against a fraud Bears team and exposed them. Right, Cecil Martin caught a little touchdown fullback in the end
Damn, he
zone.
went Cecil Martin.
It's just burned into
Hugh
my
Douglas
brain.
buried a guy.
Right, but my point is that's how I view Chicago. That's why Chicago doesn't scare me. I'm not saying I don't think they're a good football team. I don't think that they're ready. So I would
Also,
much rather go in and pounce on
No
them.
rookie coach, no first-time quarterback combinations ever won a Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
So that takes out the Jags, that takes out the Bears, and whoever else is new and fresh and then coming to the season. That's why you worry about Harbaugh that's still in there. But around these ways, we have to pay some bills. Can we take a minute to do that?
Yeah. Let's
I
do it.
Pay my
Pay your bills.
Yeah, their bills. They're one.
Run the animation.
Tell me when we're good, Julie. We're good. Everybody's got their favorite hard tea, but have you ever turned the can around to read what's in it? You can't, because they don't tell you. And while they hide what's inside, Crooked Tea brags about it. Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor with zero sugar. No fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. Next time you're at the store, flip the can around. If you can't find the ingredients, just put it back. Then grab a Crooked Tea Then grab a Crooked Tea. Zero sugar, real tea, fully transparent. You know it, Philly. Real recognizes real. So why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com to find a store near you.
So I got this thing that I kind of do every day when I run into Wawa. You like Wawa?
I do
right?
like
When we
Wawa.
go into Wawa, they got that the $5 big breakfast. I don't know if you guys know about
Is
that.
this an ad or not?
No, this is an ad, but this is how we do ads at PHNY.
I couldn't tell. You were
Got
looking
that
at me.
$5
riff,
big breakfast.
I read.
I
They
love that.
riff, I read.
That's where you go in, you get the sizzly, right? You get a hash brown, any size coffee, hot or iced. I go to large, big boy coffee. You're kind of in and out, right? And that's the deal. That's kind of like been my go-to. Now, I'll let you know a little secret. I don't just do a regular coffee. Like when I go in there, I go a third of like a Colombian dark, a third cappuccino, a third Colombian
Like
dark.
from the machine?
From the machine, right? It's called a cappuccino.
can be watery.
It's a cappuccino or a cappuccino, however you want to call it. Like a
It's called a
cappuccino.
Colombian necktie.
It's delicious, is what it's called. So I don't know if you're into that. You can give it a shot. I'm just telling
okay.
you. That's a little. It might be gay. That's a little bit from me to you. But anyway, that's kind of like my go-to thing. Well, you don't like it?
No, you're fine.
Well, it's only available from 5 to 11 a.m. I don't even know if you're up by 11 a.m.
I'm usually
are you?
not.
All right, so you're probably out on that. But anyway, 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's kind of like my go-to. What I do, I get in, I get myself caffeinated, I get myself a bite, I jump on out. You can do it too, right? It's called the $5 big breakfast. And as always, gotta have the Wawa, right?
Absolutely.
That's how we do
Yeah.
things.
E, can I borrow your hat for a second?
Yo,
It's
that was
not gonna
nice.
fit.
No. We're going to pass this around for Hooked on Phonics for E. We've been trying to get my guy a better reading program for a while. If anything you guys could contribute, there's a lot of you here today. The kids need to learn how to read. Philadelphia has a
That ain't
problem.
right, man.
Oh,
that ain't right.
Jalen Hurts out here trying to put out air conditioners.
But hold
we're
on.
just trying to get E
Somebody
on
put the
phonics.
comment
But
in the
there's a
wrong
caveat.
place.
There's a caveat to this. You get him to read in Christopher Walken's voice.
Oh, yeah, then he can read.
Beautiful.
Then he can
Spitting.
read. It's amazing.
need more cowbell. I think that could be good.
Everybody's got their favorite hot tea.
There you go.
But have you ever turned the can around
Betty liked that. She's
to
a
read
comic.
what's in it? There you
she's
go,
a-
Betty.
she's a
There
legitimate
you go.
comic.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. I don't.
Everybody's got a walking though. Everybody's.
All right.
No.
Well, we.
You just did it. No.
I can't tell when the ads begin and end, but I feel like that was it, right?
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
we're done.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Okay,
So I
I'll
didn't
check
tell
the
you
box.
this, but the City Pigeons, we got ads too. Okay.
Okay.
So let me just go ahead with our ads because I want you to know something. The City Pigeons podcast is brought to you by
Club
the
Risque.
finest hoagie shop in all of Philadelphia, Fink's Hoagies of the Great Northeast.
Tack 1, gourmet hoagies.
By the way, has donated hoagies for multiple City Pigeons events throughout the year. And we're also sponsored by the Goodhart Law Firm, one Mark Goodhart, the best personal injury lawyer in the city. So yeah, we got some ads. Yeah, you injured, man? If you're injured, this is your guy right here, and we'll explain the charges when we get there. But I gotta say, we did bring in our noteworthy guest who you shouted out. We got to say what's up to Seamus. Seamus came up on the panel, man.
Seamus, what's happening, dude?
Boom. We made it happen.
I didn't even realize the switch.
Now, Seamus.
Sorry, Fink.
Wait, he told me, Seamus, the newsletter. Is it notes from? I already feel like I messed it
From
up.
Broad Street with Love.
From Broad Street with Love.
On Substack.
Okay, on Substack. This is Seamus' newsletter. He's sending out every week with some of the best birds breakdowns. And this isn't this ain't some corporate thing. This is all from Seamus and his brain and his heart. And he has been in the scene for years and years and years. And so, Seamus, what do you think about what you've seen so far? The pretty amateur stuff. I know you're a true professional.
From all you guys?
Yeah.
It's just entertaining. I like the mix. It's like an Always Sunny or like a Seinfeld when they have like the Bizarro gang. It's a very different
when like
vibe.
Frasier would come on to Cheers. And
Ray Romano on King of Queens.
well, Frasier was from Cheers, but they used to do crossover episodes where
Did they?
Woody
Is
would
that
go
true?
on to
The Meech
Seattle.
moment of the
Yeah, it's on
episode,
Cheers.
baby. The
No
throwback. Yes. Every episode, Meech is going to reference a commercial or something from the late 80s, early 90s. It's standard procedure. So glad we got that out of the way. All right, Seamus, let's get your thoughts on where things are with the Birds. You've heard everything that we've said so far. What are you thinking? I'm sure you have your own thoughts on this.
I think the defense is awesome. I think everyone's pretty much in agreement with that. The offense, can you say you're confident, like really in your heart of hearts? I think they're going to win. Do I think they're going to win by 30 points? No. Do I think it's going to be this disgusting 13-6 game? There is a minute and a half left. The 49ers get the ball. Everyone's on pins and needles thinking like, did Sirianni just mismanage the clock the last drive? We're going into this.
I can't take it.
And then Jalen Hunt just has a strip sack, and that's that. I think that's the way it plays out. And like Meech said, his dream scenario of winning all of these disgusting, ugly games 4 times in a row. Twitter complains all offseason the Eagles have a fake Super Bowl because they only scored 40 points the entire run.
My dream.
That's probably going to happen. I could see that happening, and I would love it too. Because I think this team really boils down to Vic Fangio's guys more than Kevin Patullo's guys at this point.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of funny if you think about it compared to last year, though. Last year, the defense just exploded in the last game. And I'm not saying they didn't play well in the playoffs generally, but it wasn't like we're going to win on the backs of our defense completely. We had the best running back in the league. We were just going to run through you, right? This year is totally different. But it's interesting to me, the way Jalen has risen to the occasion in past years, do you guys think, and I hear a lot of people talking about this, but do you guys think he has that in him, right? Meaning, like, he's played so well in the biggest games. Is it Patullo that's holding him back, or can he just flick that switch and say it's go time? I mean, he's thrown some great balls, and is it him holding him? What's the issue?
Well, I think last week, if you took anything from last week and you saw the backups in there, we saw the same exact problems. Right. So it's not a personnel problem. It's not your quarterback that's the problem. Tanner McKee last
And
year
he
looked
killed Eddie.
lights
That
out.
was
We're
all
talking
season trade value.
Oh,
Tanner
God.
McKee.
Yeah, we should have not even played him.
Tanner's Tanner, right? And one game hopefully doesn't sway that, but he certainly didn't do himself any favors. Can Jalen just flip the switch? I mean, that's what he does. Right, wrong, or indifferent. We're kind of spoiled by that. In the biggest moments, he's a guy that actually rises to the occasion. I don't know if he can flip a switch as much as they can allow him to play. Jalen and this offense is most dangerous when he's out of the pocket and he's moving. He's using his legs, right? You get this dude kind of out in the open, designed runs, stretch a defense out. It just opens up so much of what they've done. And they've been reluctant to do that. Maybe they're trying to keep him healthy. Maybe they're just going to magically open up in the post. I don't know. If anybody can flip a switch, Philadelphia specific, right? Yeah. Jalen's been the guy that said, hey, yeah, I got you. Just get me to that bright light, and I'll take it from there.
You know, and on that note, I think there is one switch that you know he's going to flip, right? And I think we've seen from him a definite difference in the way he approaches the regular season and the playoffs. And what I mean by that is, and I give him credit for this, because how many times you're watching a quarterback play and you're like, dude, get down, get out of bounds, throw it away, And he does that. And I almost think, like, thank God for that. Thank God for him that he knows it's a freaking Week 10 game against whoever, throw the ball out of bounds. But when you get into the playoffs, you see him, instead of going out of bounds, instead of getting down, he goes the extra, 5 yards. He takes the hit. And so maybe he's just, and look, I'm not one of these guys who says, oh, they've been putting out a vanilla thing, they're holding back. I'm not saying that. But maybe he is just saying to himself, look, I got to get there. I got to preserve myself. We'll be all right either way. Once I get there, game on. You better stop me or I'm going to run for 30 yards. And we've seen that in the playoffs. So I'm optimistic. Seamus or E-Rock, do you have something to say on that?
Well, no, anytime you're a quarterback, there's always live to see the next down, right? So throw the ball away, slide. Don't be careful with your body. We're in it for we're playing the long game here, right?
We're not trying to Jackson Dart it.
We're not trying to Jackson Dart it
opposite.
in week 5, 6, 7, whatever it might be. The thing about living to see another day is when you're in the NFL playoffs, there is no other day. Right. So that's where you start laying it out on the table. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want any other quarterback to have that kind of mindset where winning is the priority from here on forward. So that guy, I feel confident, is going to do everything in his power to go ahead and win a game, even if he's got to put the team on his back.
You know what's funny about, I don't know if you looked at the quarterbacks in this year's playoffs, but there's only like 2 older guys. It's like Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers. That's it. And both of them could easily get knocked out in the first round. Then it's going to be the Bo Nixes, the Drake Mays, the Trevor Lawrences, the Jalen Hurts. It's going to be the new young guys that are coming in. And the league's changing, man. I mean, these guys can't hang with the young dudes. And
Seamus, what do you think?
And I honestly think the Jaguars are going to beat the Bills.
Oh yeah, I love it. I agree.
Seamus, what do you think about Jalen Hurts flipping the switch here?
I think 50% of the time, Jalen Hurts is a pretty good quarterback. I would say 49% of the time, he's just okay, maybe a little bit worse. 1% of the time, he looks like the best quarterback on the planet. It just happens those 2 games are in the Super Bowl, and he played 2 of the best Super Bowls ever.
Yeah.
Is he going to have that type of performance in the wild card round? I'd say no. Right. But the defense can carry him a little bit, make it to the NFC title game, get to the Super Bowl, play on a neutral site. I could see him doing anything, throwing 300 yards, throwing 3 touchdowns, having a couple of those classic tush-push touchdowns that seem to be a miss this season.
Right. Don't reach the ball out like that.
If he doesn't turn over the ball, first couple of games of the playoffs, the defense plays well, they're probably going to advance, even though we're all going to be frustrated about how the offense looks overall. Once you get to that Super Bowl, he can do anything.
So, Grady, you and I disagree on a lot, obviously. One thing that we have always agreed on is our appreciation for one. Is he a guy that can flip a switch?
I wasn't going to answer that. That's a stupid question. But I understand.
Okay, moving on.
I understand rhetorical. So this is a guy, again, I mentioned earlier, he's always got a new offensive coordinator. He gets benched in college, and it's everybody's favorite thing to say, oh, he got benched for Tua. And nobody says that he had the integrity to stay in that school the next year. Tua gets knocked out. Who did they call on? Jalen Hurts, the guy who couldn't throw. Instantly walked the team down there, threw a touchdown, ran down, got a touchdown, national champion, becomes a player. Like, I can read this whole guy's resume. When the postseason comes, if they're healthy, this is the first postseason Jalen Hurts has gone in not hurt.
Yep.
Hamstring, foot, concussion, thumb. So he's going in healthy. He's got 2 weeks to prepare. No offense, but if he doesn't pull his junk out and wipe it all over the court on Sunday, I'll be surprised. You got 2 weeks of rest. The offensive line is going to be as healthy as they've been. Lane's coming back. If you can't come out and dog walk this injured team on Sunday, then I don't care about the rest of the playoffs. This Sunday is going to look great. It's 51 degrees. Jalen only scored 13 points. It was 9 degrees in Lambeau Field. Oh, my God. You know, the frozen tundra is real. Detroit, it's freezing rain outside. The ball's frozen. Their balls are frozen. Nobody's scoring.
Buffalo.
Oh, guess what happened to Buffalo? Who else has
Pouring
won?
rain.
Pull your junk out in the cold.
Who's won in Buffalo the last 5 years in December? What team has beaten Buffalo in
Nobody.
Buffalo? Nobody. So I don't care if it's by hook or crook. You know what? Jalen Hurts goes to bed at night saying, dang, we won by 1, with a smile on his face. Joe Burrow, I don't like playing the game because I got hurt and I only threw for 400 yards. Like, Joe Burrow's so good. An old guy came off another team and broke records that he hasn't broke with his wide receivers in 4 years.
Yep.
But you're telling me this guy's more than the guy I got? The guy goes to bed at night with a smile on his face getting the wins.
The worst.
Say it, Gritty.
Listen, I'm just
Love it.
I just, sometimes I reflect on what's going on. I just wrote here, we need ourselves a black Gritty. We got to find a black Gritty somewhere.
There's only
How do
one.
we get a black Gritty?
There's only one.
I met some older ladies. There's some white Gritties, some gray Gritties out there. I mean, I don't control the color spectrum. So just one thing I've been working on. I've been saving it, but I'm gonna give it to you guys. You can put on a T-shirt. Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback I know could be out here walking on water and have Philadelphia be like, but he can't swim though. Like, come on, bro. My bro out here doing everything he can, giving you everything you want. You still got questions?
The worst thing that can happen for the NFC, not for us, the NFC,
I was like,
and even the AFC. It's gonna all of a sudden people are gonna be looking side-eyed at Philadelphia. Is if Jalen Hurts starts lighting it up, if that passing game starts clicking, if all of a sudden the offense starts looking the way, even a shadow of itself of what it was last year. If that offense starts clicking with that defense and we go ahead and we boat race the 49ers, the sound you will hear is every other NFL city going, shit, they figured it out.
The sphincter's tightening.
yeah.
Because that's been the storyline. What's going on with the
too much?
Philadelphia Eagles offense? What's wrong with the defense with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown? And that was the whole story. They come out against a banged-up 49ers defense, and they start putting up points and start moving the ball and start chewing up clock, and that defense is getting 3 and outs. The entire league or the remaining teams in the playoffs are all going to have a collective, oh, shit moment.
And I promise you with everything I got, my tone will change. I need to see it, right? That's the problem. I believe the worst thing that could happen was last year. It's the best thing, but it's the worst thing because we went, and you guys know it, right? We went into that postseason, and I said, look, boys, it's the Eagles and everybody else. And we had confidence in every single matchup, even the Super Bowl, we were puffing our chest saying, Kansas City ain't got a shot because we knew it.
I guaranteed it.
You guaranteed. We knew it. We felt it. We saw it. We had evidence. This year it's, well, and I hope, and when they do, I need to see it. If I can see it, then maybe my tone will change. Last year I didn't have any questions. This year feels more like I'm just waiting and I'm hoping and I'm praying. And I've done that again, like we said, for 45 years and it hasn't worked out well. I don't like when I wait and I hope and I pray. I need to know it.
What does seeing it mean to you this Sunday? Like, what is it? A score? Is it a vibe?
It's
know.
not the score.
Great question.
The score is the score, right? Because there's so many misleading scores out there.
Backdoor, it makes it look
I
closer
need
than
to
it
see
was.
them. There's a couple things that I would like to see. First of all, run the damn football, right? Run the football effectively. Run it with purpose. I want to see plays that marry up. I want to see my offensive coordinator have actual design and intent and purpose with his play call. Get the hell when you are running the ball down their throat from an I formation, don't go in shotgun. Give me this RPO nonsense. He did that last week too, even with the backups. Defense, I'm not worried about at all. Just get everybody involved. This offense is so damn dangerous when you're running it effectively, spreading the football, thinning them out. That's what I want to see. Score be damned. Just show me you have a competent offense.
I like it.
Yeah, when I go out on a first date, I'm just happy to be there and thankful for what she gives me. I don't have a request this time, Brian. You know what I mean? Wear what you want. This is all yours. I'm just here for the ride.
Fourth date's a little different.
Yeah, let me get this George W. and we'll be good to go.
But it's a great question because it's also like, does it matter, Seamus?
Yeah.
Like okay, the style we're past the style points phase in the season. We're past the what do I want to see out of it. The only thing that matters is the dub.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is the dub. I don't give a shit if you win by 15
I mean,
or
to
50.
be honest, that's
You're
all
wrong.
that matters in a regular season too. I mean, as long as you can show you can win games that are tough, like that game against the Rams where they blocked the field goal, ran it back. Like those are you don't win those games, and when you can show that you're never out of a game,
Figure it out, man.
and you can
Yeah.
figure it's such a valuable tool to have as a team, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're talking about end of the day, 100%. End of the day, it's win in advance, right? So I get that aspect of it. But if you're talking about our goal is not to win the wild card round. We're beyond that.
Right.
Our goal is let's repeat as Super Bowl champions. And so to some degree,
Points don't carry over in football.
I understand. But what I'm saying though is if you want me to buy in, and look, I'm just some dude flapping his gums into a microphone. The team doesn't give a damn what I say.
Right.
They're confident on their own. They don't care about style points. They don't care about that's twice. That is twice.
Yeah, it's unprofessional. My bad.
But if you want me to buy in, if you want us to believe in what we're seeing and that has a chance to play in February, not that we need style points, but it can't be 3 and outs, especially against this defense.
Yeah.
It can't be ineptitude. It can't leave everyone scratching their heads. That doesn't play. And in the playoffs especially, you may get by San Francisco. you're not going to get by the elite in the
But
NFC.
that's what I've been hearing all year. Like, you can't win this way. You can't win this kind of game in Green Bay consistent. And they won it like 4 more times the same fucking exact way.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's got a point.
That's the second time for that too.
yeah, so I forgot we were
That's all
PHLY. I got to
We cuss
recalibrate.
weight
We
too,
do,
so it's
do.
fine.
Oh, okay, all right.
It gets worse. You're fine.
I'm going to take a page out of Black Gritty's page book. You're going to look so dumb next week. You're going to look so dumb.
In what way?
next week.
In what way?
And just we're gonna win a gritty. Let's say we win a gritty game. You're gonna be tickled pink. You're gonna be thrilled. You're gonna
absolutely.
be thrilled to death.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna be buying in because momentum hinges on one game. You have to get hot. How many times did Nick Sirianni and this entire team say you just got to be playing your best football at the end of the year? They started to ramp up at the end of the year. Momentum is possessed within one game. When 2017, when we won the Super Bowl, everybody was counting us out against the Falcons. That collective oh shit was us beating the Falcons. And we beat it on the last minute play to Julio Jones when Jalen Mills was wagging his finger in the end zone. All the momentum, and then the belief was there.
right.
We are on our way, boys.
Yes, I agree, but I'm not going to compare that 2017 roster and
I'm
the
on Team Black
expectations
Gritty
going into the
today?
game.
What the hell is
to,
happening?
To defending Super Bowl champions, everyone healthy. This is the team to beat. Like, again, I don't care about style points. I don't. If at minimum, can I just get 4 quarters of football? Can I just get 4 quarters where you at least put a point on the board? Like, is that something? Is that too much to ask
You know,
out of a team I'm considering to be a Super Bowl favorite?
What's really going to make you all excited is when you find out that Nick wanted the 49ers, and that's why he went
Yeah.
the way he did.
And then when
Maybe-
Chicago
maybe.
loses, when the Jo head coach was up there talking about like we don't rest our and then you're gonna lose to the Packers. and
Yeah, like who
everything.
thought the Lions were going to lose last year to the Redskins?
Totally.
Well,
I mean,
I didn't mention that when you asked about the injury thing, but as much as I love Dan Campbell for his balls and bigness and all that stuff that he does, and bite kneecaps, he has hurt his team because his whole we practice with pads on day one. We
opposite
start
of Nick.
everybody in the preseason. We do so. Then at the end of the last 2 years, your team keeps falling apart.
Right.
So your tough man mentality all throughout the year is not helping your team get healthy and get right. So as much as it sounds good and it's football talk and it's what you want to live, they've also added 18 games now.
Listen,
Nick
now,
Sirianni-
before
go ahead.
I'm sorry, before the next break and before I get out of here, I just want to say that I think it's going to be poetic when we start the postseason by beating San Francisco and then end it by winning in San Francisco. It's going to be very nice.
That's nice.
And I also want to give out a nice little FanDuel parlay that I cooked up.
Wait, can we do
Why
that?
is everybody laughing? Why is everybody laughing?
It's a nice easy one. All Eagles, all yards, no touchdowns. 8-1 parlay, right? Jalen Hurts 200 yards passing, AJ Brown 60 yards receiving, Devontae 40 yards receiving, Saquon 10 yards receiving, Saquon 60 yards rushing, Jalen Hurts 25 yards rushing. That's an 8-1 parlay for 6 easy things to happen. They might happen
not
all
that
in the
easy.
first half. I'll tweet it out on the City Pigeons
not
Twitter
that easy.
in case you didn't catch that.
No.
When you
It's
tweet it
an
out,
easy 8-1 parlay.
when you tweet it out, next time, like, just have a cigarette in your mouth. Because when I see an older white man with a yellow notepad with Post-it notes on it, I feel like I can believe everything he's doing. I feel like you were in a dark room with a pad
I was.
and a newspaper, and you're just going
you
by
have-
line by line. Like, you
gotta
know
do-
what?
you gotta-
I'm
then.
cooking this shit up
You
right
know
now.
me then.
Yeah,
You gotta-
yeah.
but you
If
gotta
if
throw
had
in
a
like an
cigarette, I'd
accent.
put money on it right now.
Nah, you see,
it
Saquon
was a
Barkley's
joy.
gonna get
Take it
10
as a
10 yards receiving for Saquon
I
Barkley.
knew you were smoking something. I was like, I need that.
I gotta
need
say
that
though,
imagery.
that sounded reminiscent of every bet I've put in this year, where it's like everything's going to go well for the Eagles,
No.
and then I
This
lose
is
all my money.
This is easy.
Nah, I'm not so sure, man. Not with the offensive output we've seen up
Stop
to this
it.
point.
Easy
All right.
money.
So before, are you guys close to an ad break? I think you might. Be
Yeah,
close
we
to an ad
do
break.
have to do one.
You want to pay some bills?
You want to get
Yeah.
that done? Let's
Pay
just
some
do it,
bills.
and then
All right.
we'll come back.
Adios.
Throw your hand up when we're ready.
Bye, Meech. Great job. We appreciate your service.
Don't clap me out of here.
You go first.
Fink's like, what the hell? I didn't get a clap.
Yeah, Fink didn't get a clap. It's messed up.
All right, if you've been waiting to take advantage of a great offer to boost your savings, here's one you don't want to miss. TrueMark Financial is offering a limited time 5-month certificate at 4.25% APY. And with a minimum deposit of just $500, it's an easy way to get started. Whether you're saving for a special goal, building an emergency fund, or just looking for a smart way to make your money work a little harder, this certificate is a great option. You can open your certificate today at TrueMark.com or by visiting any of their 24 branch locations. Now, the annual percentage yield is accurate as of 12/15/25 and subject to change. Certificate requires a minimum deposit of $500. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit truemark.com for full details. That's an ad read.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was well done.
I appreciate you.
Really, honestly.
Buckle up
You
here,
didn't
folks.
ad lib as much on that one though.
No.
That's
So let's figure out where you guys are getting your internet from, and let's fix it and go to Xfinity. Xfinity 5 has a 5-year guarantee on your Wi-Fi plan. So if you're tired of getting screwed every other year where they're changing and raising rates, your gas is going up, gas is going down, you can get locked in with Xfinity. You can get that double box feature where you can see things. Your internet's going to be intelligent and smart. All them punk kids on their iPads can be surfing what they want, and you can pause and rewind your television and live your life to the best of your ability. Or you could be a punk loser on whatever system you're on right now. But I suggest you go to Xfinity.com and switch over. Get yourself that 5 years guaranteed. Invite your boy over to watch a game, and that way we can live the best life. Xfinity 5-year guarantee. Go get one.
That, too, is an ad read.
I mean, that was fantastic.
I'll sell some sandwiches for you. I got you.
Beautiful. Yeah, we got to get him going for Finks. You could be a great spokesperson.
Can I tell you something about Finks though? Honest to goodness, like 40 years on this planet, and living in the hoagie capital of the world, New Jersey, right? I thought I knew, genuinely. I thought I knew what an Italian hoagie was supposed to taste like. Now you can go to places like your bigger stores and where they're pumping those things out. Sure. And that's usually where I got them. There's a lot of great little hoagie shops around the state of New Jersey. I thought I knew what an Italian hoagie was supposed to taste like until I had a Finks. And then and then it was just like,
Amen.
oh,
Boom.
what the hell have
that.
I been doing? I've
Flip it.
been lied to and misled this entire time. If you have not tasted, if you have not wrapped your teeth around
Okay.
a Finks Italian hoagie,
Okay. Hey,
Wrap
hey.
your teeth around
Hey, hey, hey.
go get it.
Hey,
Go
I'm
get it.
I'm a no teeth man myself, but go
Throw him
ahead
some
and
money.
do whatever you need.
That is an unpaid.
I'm talking about hoagies.
Oh,
said
oh,
I'm a
you said
no
my
teeth
bad. I don't know.
Oh, my
You getting
God.
real
So
So I
aggressive
see
with that
what
sandwich,
you guys
boy.
do is you insinuate.
Jamie lynched it.
You insinuate. That
much
makes
so.
sense.
You made it
Right.
weird.
All right.
I just have a question though. Did you call New Jersey the hoagie capital of the world?
I did.
Okay. Just making
As
sure.
opposed to.
As opposed to
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
I want to hear you say it. I'd like to
Yeah.
create some debate.
Say it out loud.
It's an interesting concept. I haven't thought about it. I mean, White House is one of the classics. It's one of the oldest. So if
In
that's
Atlantic City.
what you're referring to, that is in New Jersey.
No, I'm not talking South
But
Carolina.
other than that, I would say
Fictitious
there is no claim in
Sacchiellis
New
from
Jersey
The Sopranos,
to hoagie.
Oh
probably.
no, are we starting a hoagie argument?
No,
Oh, boy.
listen. You go up to Bergen County. You go up to North Jersey, then come back and talk to me.
All right.
But they don't even call it a hoagie up there.
No, but it's all right. Okay.
Thumbs down from the crowd. Yeah.
All right.
I was waiting for somebody.
Am
to
I
buy
wrong?
this
I'm not
up.
wrong.
Real
I'm not
quick.
wrong. I'm not wrong.
Can we just introduce? I got to introduce. These are some of the other esteemed members of the City Pigeons crew. We got Mark Goodhart here to my left. To my far left, Roger Rocky Matthews. Fellas,
What up, fellas?
what's up?
How you
we
doing?
Chillin'.
Beautiful.
How you guys
Rock
doing?
and I went to high school together. He's one of the OG members of the City Pigeons crew. Mark Goodhart actually was the first official sponsor of the podcast, and then we just brought him in, which isn't the smartest decision. We should have kept him as
Is
a
this the
sponsor.
personal injury lawyer?
Yeah, he's a
That's just-
personal
okay,
injury lawyer.
all right,
So we
wanna
just
make sure.
brought him in, and we became such good friends. We were like, you got to come. And I told you this earlier. Anybody who's down for anything, if it's like, hey, we should do this, we should do that, and he's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
This guy, he's a ride or die.
Mark is a
But-
game. You can look at this guy and see he's a gamer. He's got an Eagles.
Oh, he definitely gambled.
Yeah.
he definitely
so,
gambled.
so,
blazer
so can
on
we address
and
the
a-
elephant in
and
the
a
room?
Chiefs jersey.
Yeah,
Can we address the elephant in the room?
sorry,
What the
Chargers
hell is going on?
We're going to address it, but I just want you to understand the City Pigeons podcast is full of guys from different backgrounds that have many different skill sets, okay? Mark has a unique skill set in addition to being a personal injury lawyer who could represent anybody. If you're watching this, you've got a personal injury matter.
Am I getting whacked at the end
The
of this?
Goodhart firm. You might be. I don't know.
No, it's injury, not death.
Now,
Injury.
Mark is also a registered NFL agent, okay? And you may recognize, if you know your Philadelphia
Oh,
sports,
it's 90.
this is a particular athlete who may hail from the great city of Philadelphia. Mark, why don't you inform them as to your
Hold on.
client and his prowess?
You may know him best from stopping Saquon Barkley on the goal line against the Eagles, Mr. Thierry Tart.
Oh, Tart.
Who is, if you have to ask me, the most dominant, impactful interior defensive lineman in the NFL.
No bias. No bias.
And I do bleed green, but I started bleeding some powder blue this year.
Money talks.
Yeah, right. It's a different kind of green. Hey, listen, different kind of green. I
And
get
you know
it.
this is a true story, all right? So this is actually the stuff you can't make up. I want to make sure you guys understand this because it's an awesome story. So Mark's like, hey, I think I'm going to get my NFL certification to represent players. This guy Thierry, he's from the city. I think that's something could work out. He starts just like hanging out with them. Next thing you know, there's a tweet from Adam Schefter. Okay, I'm not kidding. It says, Thierry Tart signs a 1-year deal with the San Diego Chargers. Deal negotiated
LA
by
Chargers.
LA Chargers.
Sorry.
He stopped me.
I do it all the time.
He goes, this is Adam Schefter. Deal negotiated by Drew Rosenhaus and Mark Goodhart.
Oh, for real?
I mean, that was
That's
like,
dope.
and this
That's
is
dope.
like right in the middle when we're doing the pod and everything. I mean, my man got put on, and so he works with Drew Rosenhaus to, tell him a little bit about Drew. I know you can't tell him everything, but, tell us a little about Drew Rosenhaus. What was it like to talk to him?
Drew's a fantastic guy. I know he has this aura and maybe this sort of stigma from the outside.
Sit-ups in the driveway is
But,
all I can think about.
He's a fantastic guy, and we're very like-minded. I got into this business to truly give advice that's good for the player, good for the client. I think there's a lot of people out there that are giving advice that's good for themselves, and Drew and I are completely aligned that way. And so he and I didn't know what it would be like to work with him, but he's been gracious, he's been inclusive, he's taught me a lot, and quite frankly, he's been probably the opposite of how people in the general football community, fan community perceive him. He's been awesome.
How did that come about? How'd you cross paths?
I've had a relationship and known Thierry for a number of years, and got certified. And fast forward, I was just sort of lucky enough and
work it.
intentional enough to put myself in a situation where it's really good for him to have both of us helping him.
So
And it's he's done all the work. He's played 17 games the past 2 seasons, which is a big deal for an interior D lineman. That doesn't happen that often. So he deserves all the credit. And at the same time, I'm a big believer that if you surround yourself with good people, and the universe works for you as well. So I think there is some small correlation there.
Amen.
But he has really decided. Thierry has decided at this point in his career, 4 or 5 years into the league, to take it to the next level, and he has. And all good things for him. And thankfully, the Chargers are in the AFC. So
But let's just say this presented an obvious conflict when I went out to L.A. for the Chargers game, met up with my man in the parking lot. He shows up. He's got nothing really on. I don't even know. You might have had
Just
Charger.
nothing.
Yeah, like
Nothing.
he just
No
he was
Chargers, no
professional.
Eagles,
And I
yeah.
respect it. Look, I understand you're going to be with like Thierry's family, but I'm sitting there being like, dude, it's the birds. We got to go. You know what I mean? So, hey, you got to. I guess
Respect the hustle.
It's tough, man. Yeah, but.
So this for me went from what's up with this dude to now I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated. So
Dig deep.
So I know this is like the playoff preview, but now I'm fascinated.
Let's explore.
Give it, because lawyers, like Roger Goodell, lawyer. There's a lot of lawyers involved in being an agent and everything like that. Give me real quick one thing that you thought would be harder than it really was becoming an agent, NFL agent, and give me something that you found was actually more surprisingly difficult that you didn't. Easy. Thank you.
Yep. I'm on your wavelength. I got you.
It's a Hooked on Phonics.
Yeah,
thing.
no,
How
we're
much
good.
money did we collect yet? Nothing. Great.
Is that still a
Gonna
thing?
have to make it
Hooked on
enough.
phonics?
Oh yeah.
I'd
Reading
say
Rainbow,
the difficult thing, and I was having this conversation with someone the other day, the hardest thing in this business, I talk with my hands.
Everyone's smacking the tables. You can't do that.
Your Honor,
Guys, no, stop. You can't do that. It's
objection,
not good for the
all
audio.
that.
Julia knows. By the way, shout out Julia.
Julia, yes, Julia. Let's go, Julia.
You're a big table slapper, DG. You got to chill with that. Go ahead, Mark.
The hardest thing is getting the clients. That is the hardest thing. And quite frankly, just to be candid, because it's the only way I know how to be, I thought I went out about this way differently than most people I've met who were young agents. Granted, I'm not young, but I'm young in the agent world. Most people are out high school, college games, trying to get guys that are up and coming. They're every Saturday. They're hitting people up in DMs all the time, trying to get in, trying to get a meeting. I've met some really talented young guys who are doing that and having some success. I went about it totally differently because I had a relationship with a player who was already in the league. And of course, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, if I end up representing someone in the league already, I'm sure there will be this, windfall of guys who come along.
Right.
Silly me. It's not like that because the relationships really are, do run deep, and I'm a big relationship guy. So I think navigating to get the clients, admittedly, has been harder than I expected.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't play football in the NFL. I didn't play Division I college football. There's a lot of agents who have football backgrounds. They played at a D1 school, so they have roots with that school. They may have played in the league a little bit. They may have even played D2 or D3 ball, or they may have worked for a team or what have you. They're sort of in that realm already. So that has been difficult.
The easy one. The thing you
The
thought
easy
was
thing,
easier.
and I don't say this to knock the industry at all, but having been a lawyer for 20 years, having done all kinds of negotiations in all kinds of formats, small matters, 8-figure matters, everything in between, the actual negotiation is way easier than my normal negotiations in the legal world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So, Rock, welcome to the program.
I had to ask.
This guy's a GM.
No, that's my fault.
Rock, he's my
Yeah,
friend from
yeah.
high school. Rock, tell us a little
Yeah,
bit.
so I build
listen,
airplanes.
listen.
No.
I got to say, stepping baback a second, I just showed you the tweet. He was in the crew at that point, and the tweet comes out, and we're just like, it was the greatest thing. And so Mark's the kind of guy who will go for anything, right? Even when other people would be like, oh, I don't know if this is going to happen. Like, he operates on pure feel and heart. And so perfect person to be my tailgate partner who's getting in line with me at 7 a.m. to go make sure that we get the spot we need and fend people off. So appreciate Mark. Let's give it up for Mark. Again, who's gotten there's been some standing ovations. Okay.
Yeah, enough about Mark.
Yeah,
I
enough
mean,
about Mark.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
right.
That was my.
No one
that's
wants
on
to-
me.
no one-
That's on
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I had to know.
That's all right.
Thanks for coming through,
I've
fellas, by
definitely
the way.
fucked a bunch of shit up too. So.
Long answer short, right there. Anyway, so Jess is usually good about this. You guys have kind of just been up here filibustering about the game. I got some direct questions I want to ask you guys, right? So for the Eagles to win this game and progress in the playoffs back to the Super Bowl, who has to have the biggest impact in all these games? Player, coach, I don't know,
Petula.
security guard.
Security guard.
What do we think here?
Big
'Cause
Dom's got to fight somebody.
I'm thinking that Lane Johnson, Saquon Barkley need to have the biggest impact to all these games because, that's where the engine started last year. That's what got us there, right? Football. I mean, I'm probably the only person up here who actually played football. I don't know if you
Wow,
guys have
shots
done, but
fired. Middle school.
Yeah.
Hello.
Did
High school
did
varsity,
5'6" give
4
it away?
years. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
4
4 years.
2 years.
But no,
varsity.
The offense starts with running the football, right? So, if you're running the football successfully,
That's not.
you can play action, you can do all types of things off of it, and we just haven't been doing that successfully.
Okay, so
all
you
year.
went with
so
Lane Johnson.
You said that
and
one guy,
Saquon
Lane
Barkley?
Johnson and Saquon.
So
Yeah, he went with two
let's
guys.
go running game. How about that? That's what I'm saying.
Running game.
I
That's
agree.
like an entire offense.
We need to turn that shit.
Okay, so
the hell
there's no
up.
parameters here. You can say
Line
whatever
play.
you want.
Line play.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Offensive line. If there's not one guy, because if it's going to be one guy, I think the easy money's on. Oh, well, okay, your quarterback. It's kind of like the guy who touches the ball every snap. But ideally, for this offense to function, it's that offensive line, and in particular, running the football, the run game, right?
Totally agree.
Brady's going to tell me I'm
PG.
wrong.
Yeah. Let them fight. I like
no,
this.
I know. It's fine. Like, if you wanted a person, I would just say Kevin Petullo. He either needs to get out of his own way, or his players need to execute every stupid call that he calls and make it right for him. Because last year, let's be honest, a lot of that stuff is you don't have Saquon Barkley getting an 80-yard run called for you. You know what I mean?
True.
That's not how it works. But if you tell me the line's healthy and Petullo wants to run it just to run it, and he puts Tank in there a little bit, and they get some good runs run off, then they'll be okay. That's what I meant by we can still get to the Super Bowl with a moron calling plays. But he really has to call the plays, and this team has to execute. It's the whole offensive team. The defense, we don't have any questions about them. Man, we have linebackers. We got linebackers on linebackers. Trotter Jr. Looked like his daddy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, like, it's been so long. And now he's got like 30 of them, and we can't keep the Kobe. We'll cry.
We're keeping the Kobe.
We're not keeping the Kobe. Especially not after Trotter looking like he did.
That was an argument we
Trotter's
had
free.
a couple weeks ago. I want Nakobe. He thinks he's as good as gone. And he probably is, but
keep
I'll
everybody.
stand on that hill.
But so, for me, it's Kevin Patullo. Like, he's got to call the right plays. Like I said, when it works, we're all like, oh, everything's great. When it doesn't work, we jump on him. But like you said, when you saw him with Tanner McKee in that second half, it's like, that's on the coach. That's coaching.
Do you think that Patullo, and I don't know the answer to this question, do you think he has as much control over the flow of the offense in the wild card round as he did in week 1 of the season?
100%.
Okay.
I don't believe anything Nick Sirianni says. I'm coming in there and I'm helping out. Yeah, what you helping out with, Coach? I don't know. I walked in the room. I said, let's get it. Flowers, the trees. I'm in every room. Okay, Coach, what happened? Well, we were on the sidelines, and why did we run the ball? Well, you know, when the play comes by me, I got you to say something, but in the moment, in the heat, because you got to trust the guy so you don't do shit, right? Oh, okay. Like, every week, this moron, I hate this man so much. I bent the knee to his ass.
Which one?
You
You
bent
going
the knee.
Hey, Sirianni.
You don't get to take it back.
Sirianni.
I
For the remainder of the season, you don't get to take it back.
I bent the knee to that man, and my God, I feel dumber every week for it. Because you come out and you lie. You don't know who called the play, why the plays are called, and then you try to say, it was my decision. We can read your lips. You're over there sideline. What the?
Right, but
what's
that's
going
coach
on?
speak. You know that. That's just coach speak. Fall on the sword. He's going to protect his guys. Every coach in the NFL does that.
Not every coach.
Every good coach.
I think one of the reasons he's good is because he does
I
it.
saw Todd Bowles out there say, hey, look,
I said every
just
good
told them
coach.
in the locker room.
Good coach.
I don't know. He got a ring, don't he? Was he part of a Super Bowl winning championship
As a
team?
head coach.
With Brady, right?
I'm just saying, hey, look.
So, Brother Gray, you believe the same thing that I believe, that Nick Sirianni is a straight up bozo
Yes.
who's been
made him
blessed
so
with
happy, by
having
the way.
good talent around him his entire career.
Yes.
And that's why he's successful. I totally agree. Jess might say something else. He's like, we were talking about this in a text thread last week. I was like, this dude's a
No.
yeah.
No.
This guy's a bozo, and he's only good because he has talent around him. And Jess was saying, like, oh, he's the biggest bozo who has the best record in Philadelphia
Okay, but
or
that's
Eagles
a
sports history.
fact. Okay?
That is a fact, but he's
Okay.
still a bozo.
Okay, here's the thing.
Like, if you put that guy on, I don't know, let's say the Browns, he's nowhere near successful.
Okay, who in Philadelphia sports history has a better track record of success and has achieved more than Nick Sirianni?
Who's had the same
Nobody.
talent around
So
him?
just tell me.
Who's had their talent around
Just
him?
I don't, but that's what I'm asking you.
Nobody.
That's what I'm asking you. All right. So like we've glorified these Buddy Ryan, the bounty ball. That was so awesome. Yeah. You know, like what are we talking about? Like Nick Sirianni is unquestionably the most successful coach in Philadelphia sports history already. Okay. That's just a fact. Now,
But he makes bad decisions. He's a fucking bozo. Excuse my language.
Hold up. And by the way,
Oh my
I was one of the people very early
wrong
on.
gritty watch.
Hold up. I was one of the people very early on who was like, this dude cannot be a coach in the NFL. Remember the game we were playing the Colts and he got all emotional because
That was
who
with
was
Frank
it?
Reich.
When Frank Reich was on this, he got all emotional about it. I'm like, this guy. You guys remember? I was like, this
100%,
guy.
I remember.
I was like, this guy cannot be the coach of our team. And all the stuff he said with the fans. And you know what the truth is? After all is said and done, the wins are the wins. The record is the record. And if you want to say it's all based on the talent, that's fine. But at the same time, he's the coach of the team. So it's very hard for me to sit up here and say he's not a good coach. He has obviously done. And everybody mocked the guy when he talked about the flowers and this, that, and the next. But to a man, when you talk to the players, they get his back over and over, okay? And here's the thing. You guys talk about this earlier. I saw this article. They were talking about savants, and they were talking about how Shanahan is a savant and, you know, all this stuff. And everybody's talking Shanahan, it's great play calling. Okay, great. What has this guy actually achieved? Has he won a Super Bowl?
No.
Nope.
Okay, he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Sirianni's been to 2. He's won 1. He's got a very good chance to go back again. And I'm just saying, at some point, I had to throw my hands up and be like, yeah, this guy might be... He's going to shout stuff about the fans in the tunnel and make you kind of cringe. He's going to do weird stuff, and you're going to be like, what are you doing? But I don't know how to argue with the fact that this guy knows how to coach his team. He knows how to lead these guys. He knows how to get them ready to play. They've won huge games over and over. I was thinking about this, right? We might play the Rams again. We've played them how many times in the past 2 years? I don't even know. Right. It's going to be the fourth time, whatever it is. We have gone up against these upper echelon teams, whether it's the Bills, whether it's the Chiefs, whether it's at home, whether it's on the road. We have beat the best teams in the NFL over and over. So how are you going to tell me that this guy, and believe me, I wanted more than anything, this guy, he seems like a complete fool the way he acts, but he gets the team ready to play. They win big games. How am I supposed to sit here and say, this guy's a bad coach? Like, honestly.
Right, and that's you touched on it. That's the thing. The one thing is, okay, you win football games, right? And with anything, you win and it kind of covers up a lot of things, right? Things don't get exposed when you're winning football games. But especially in the NFL with head coaches, they tend to wear on you. Even Jim Harbaugh, with the 49ers. Like, he was really productive.
The khakis.
But he wears on players. Now, obviously a completely different way of wearing on them. But players will tell you. Like, one way or another, players will they'll echo the sentiment of a locker room, whether they're happy with the coach, whether they're like what's going on behind closed doors. That you won't find anybody that's saying anything negative about Nick Sirianni. True. So for me, winning nights, yeah, obviously and he's been to 2 Super Bowls, and that's fun for us. I take more stock out of how do his players talk about it.
And by the way, real quick, and I hate to interrupt you, but this is a guy who went to the Super Bowl in 22, right? Had the 23, the worst scenario. I mean, that was god-awful what happened. Somehow, didn't lose his job, stayed with the team, got the same nucleus of guys to stick with him, and then came back, went to the Super Bowl against a team that was going for a freaking three-peat and beat the shit out of them. And you're trying to tell me that this guy's just lucky and all these players are good? I just can't buy that. I'm not saying he's the best coach in the world. Black Gritty's about to fall off.
It doesn't make sense.
I'm about to crawl under the table because, like,
you know it's coming.
Mount Eruption.
Yeah, that's fine. Let him do his thing. That's fine. Do it.
Everybody got a helmet?
It's the simplest defense on God's green earth. Jalen Hurts, throughout his college and high school and professional career, averages 70 to 80% wins. I don't know who's the statistician around here, but go look up how many wins Nick gets when Jalen's not the starting quarterback. Okay, let's do that. When Jalen's not in there, they don't win. When Lane's not in there, they don't win either, but it's a really different matter. So you get a guy who comes from a winning program who's out there with Nick Saban, rat poison, don't eat the cheese. This man has gone to battles overseas and come back from nuclear war to come over here with a guy who's over here on the campus talking about, well, I'm going to train you guys up, and you're going to learn football. And he's like, well, damn. I was over here in the war. My boys was getting shot. And I got Mickey Mouse over here coaching. Okay, cool. Let's go, Mickey Mouse. Because when you get Mickey Mouse some help, a real offensive mind, you go right to the Super Bowl. You put a rookie in there with this guy here to help, and you lose 6 games in a row, and your offensive-minded coach can't help you win 1 game at the end? Oh, yeah, he's a smart guy. Then you put him with another rookie, and they're looking so inept. And again, he says he's going to step in and help. He is the riding coat of Jalen Hurts, and then everything else around him that Howie Roseman was giving us. And I used to be bad at Howie Roseman. God bless him. He said, let me go out here and buy some stallions. I'm tired of fronting at the pony show. Let me go get some real horses. Then you get these gigantic guys from Georgia that are all brothers, playing on the same damn team, and they transform like Voltron. And you walk in to get a Super Bowl, and Nick Sirianni's over here talking about flowers. You talk about flowers from 9 national champions on your team? And I'm supposed to give this doofus magoofus Stuttering Stanley talking about his uncle every 3-time high school.
That was a while ago. That first press conference was a while ago.
Every week these morons say the dumbest things. His best friend said, sometimes you just got to run it just to run it, you know? I'm not in charge of a $1 million franchise, $1 billion organization. Sometimes you just run it to run it. I hit A, sometimes I'm playing Madden. You know what I'm saying? And you keep clicking it because the button don't work. He's a moron, and he's lucky that Jalen Hurts gives him the grace of time.
100%.
Well, that'll do it.
70%.
Let me just say,
Jalen Hurts has won since high school.
You can only poke
80%.
so
the
many
funny thing
times.
is,
You can only poke
we
the
did
bear.
like
What did Nick win before he got here?
we did the audio check.
Holding the pad. Can't design a play. Wide receiver coach.
Let me push back just a little
Wide
bit.
receivers are mad. Can't keep their mouth shut.
Careful.
Yeah, careful. I got to tread lightly here. I mean, I understand. I get what he's saying. Like, Jalen Hurts is a winner. Like, we know that. Wherever he goes, he wins. But I'd be hard-pressed to find any coach out there that wins football games and doesn't have a quarterback.
And
right?
Reed.
So
You stick 19 people back there. That's why I got this whole backup frenzy over here
yeah,
now.
but see, I'm a bigger supporter. You're talking about when like Coy Detmer and
the Detmer, Feely, we flipping people like.
That was 4 games. Hey, that was 4 big games.
You're reaching,
They needed
right?
those
Howie
4 big
Roseman said
games.
we're a QB factory, bro.
Let him talk.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
all I mean to say is, again, it doesn't. To me, it just doesn't make sense. I agree with everything. I understand what you're saying, right? And I'm a big Jalen guy. You know that. My daughter's named Jalen.
Anybody looked up his record when he's not playing yet? I know it don't look good for your stat.
Yeah, but then
it's like 1-6 or something.
But how many coaches are going to win? Like we all say, the backup quarterbacks, you got problems. Like there's problems.
I just saw
there's not a
Shanahan
lot
win
of
4
coaches.
straight games with his backup. I can
But you're not nervous about him coming into town.
No, but again, I'm just telling you, I can list dudes off good coaches all the time to win with backups. Malik Willis is out there with Green Bay. Looking better than Love. I just told you they shouldn't even start Love this week because this kid's been playing 3 games in a row, balling for the team, and Love fumbles every postseason. So don't tell me guys can't get guys to win games when my coach can't.
All I mean to say is the brothers from Georgia that formed Voltron, right? These big badasses from Georgia, even they bought into the Flower Boy. So for what I'm saying, if the players speak highly of him, if the players buy in, they don't give a damn whether I see it, whether I agree with it, whether I understand it. It's not for us to understand. Whatever he's doing is working, and it translates on the field, right?
So, what you see is the flowers. What you see is the goofy press conferences. What you see is him yelling about Frank Reich. What you see is all this press conference and talking about his kids and his brothers. What you don't know about Nick Sirianni that I know is Nick Sirianni is a whole asshole. He is a
we all know that.
no. How intense he is, how angry. There's a reason why Big Dom is glued to his side. And the reason why he has the position that he has, and it's so crucial that he's on the field, is to keep Nick Sirianni in line because he will go after the refs. He will go after the other team. He will go after
somebody.
people. This is
Emotional
why,
damage. I wish my guy was an adult.
It's the behind the scenes of what you don't see of who Nick Sirianni is. The reason why you get a Jordan Davis up there standing on a soapbox, how he's 10 toes down for this team is because it's like we all see the goofy shit because that's what's on camera. What you don't see is, hey, remember that time when a WFAN fan called into the Craig Carton show and said, hey, listen, I was playing tennis and I was wearing a New York Giants hat and Nick Sirianni wanted to fight me. And remember that? Does anybody else remember that? It kind of got... Yeah, you do, because it got swept under the rug. Because everybody talked to that caller and was like, "This guy doesn't. He's crazy. He's insane. The guy's just making it up." No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. That was a true story. Nick Sirianni is that intense for his guys. He goes to bat for his guys. He's an angry asshole, and that's why and never throws anybody under the bus. Never throws anybody under the bus. Will ride and die for these guys, and that's why these guys, year after year after year, despite the goofy bullshit that he does, still go to bat for him, and he sets that culture.
I agree with that point, but I'm sorry. Those kind of coaches are a dime a dozen. They how many players do you hear that say like, "Oh, I hate this coach. I'm not going to ride for him." I just feel like when you get to this level of professional sports, this guy, he's, his emotional, his leader of men type shit. You see those coaches all the time. He's successful, like my man Brother Grit said over there, is because of the talent around him. Bottom line, the players love him, but you've heard people saying, "I love my coach" all the time. When you have the talent on the field that the Eagles have had underneath his leadership, which is I'm sure is great leadership, you're going to be successful.
This week, Jordan Mailata said twice.
If he was a great leader like he is, but also had some legit talent like a Shanahan or what's the guy's name from Chicago? Ben Johnson. If he had some legit talent like that with his leadership skills, this Eagles team could be far and above better than what they are.
All right, so let me pose a question then. Let me pose a question. You're basically, if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying it's not the coach. It's not the coach. It's the player. Right? That's what you're saying. It's not about the coach. It's about the players you have on the field.
No, I'm not saying it's 100% about the players on the field. I'm saying it's probably about 75%.
All right, so you basically are saying last year. So let's just use last year for example.
All right, go ahead.
Last year was 75% about the players, 25% about the coach. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, so then this year, our lack of confidence in that offense and the struggles of that offense is 25% of the coach and 75% on the players.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're consistent.
We've got some injuries. The team's not exactly the same. You know what I mean?
It kind of is. It kind of is.
But Lane Johnson's been out for how long?
Okay, fair.
All right.
Fair.
So
back injuries, leg injuries.
Yeah,
it's football. It happens.
It does happen. But as a player, you start you see the players, the guys around you going down. Your other guys aren't playing as good. You start to you start to fall off a little bit.
Okay.
And you see that happening this year. And where is our big, great leader to pull this team out of the dumps and say, "Hey, we're still the best team in this league"?
I mean, they won 11 games.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. This week, not to be a contrarian, but Mailata was on his show and he did a couple interviews and he kept saying, well, the question was put, how did you guys get past the losing streak? And he said, just looking at those guys on defense together, looking at how Vic got those guys together, they really pulled the team back in. The defense saved the team because 9 of them are champions. They all went to school together. Like, they got their own clique, their own brotherhood.
Right.
And then it builds into, we're doing this together. You know what I mean? You bring in the exciting whites and everybody starts melting. But the defense is over there rocking, making the offense be like, yo, look, hey, look, man, they over there, they're not fighting. We should be, we're a unit. And so Vic Fangio is pulling a lot of people in. Because when he was down in Miami, they got the nightlife, they want to boogie. They don't want to listen to that hard coaching. Up here it's cold, ain't nothing to do.
Right.
The nightlife in Philly, I mean, unless you come and hang out with us, there's not really much to do out here.
Right.
So they lock in, and he's got them by the grip, by the ball. It's great. And again, Nick has gone to 2 Super Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl.
What did you say?
Nick's gone to
Did
2
he what?
Super Bowls. He won a Super Bowl.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is that good?
When he has a good offensive coordinator.
But
Is that what you're
I
supposed
feel
to
like
do?
we're arguing over the same good thing. Like, we can isolate Jalen Hurts and we can have a discussion about
I just
Jalen
hate him
Hurts.
because he sounds stupid. That's
We can
all.
isolate Nick Sirianni and talk about Nick Sirianni. We can isolate Howie Roseman, and trust me, we had for years. Something that we all got to understand is we're in it right now. This is the golden age.
go.
We're in it. Everybody individually may not have the same kind of success elsewhere that they're having right here in Philadelphia. It's the perfect owner for Philadelphia, is it not? It's the perfect general manager for Philadelphia. is it
Sweet
not?
Howie.
It's the perfect head coach. The perfect head coach for Philadelphia.
I agree.
Brilliant, Nick.
I think it's the perfect quarterback to handle Philadelphia.
That's true. Can't get another one of those.
It's the perfect shades of Jim Johnson's defensive coordinator for Philadelphia.
Bless up, Vic.
Yeah,
Vic.
we got to dial in the offensive coordinator thing. Other than that, like, we're in it. We're in it.
All right, Birds by 30.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm in.
That's what
I'm
I
in.
wanted to hear.
All right,
That's
fine.
what you wanted to hear.
More bang
Let
on
me
the
just
table.
say this.
Just to make Jesse happy.
In closing, as we start
ain't
to
scoring
wrap this
30.
up, I think we do have to appreciate where we are, right? Because there was a time, you go back, for those of us that are old enough, I think most of us are, where you just felt like bad things were going to happen no matter what. You know, I remember when the Eagles were making the playoffs all those years, and you just started to feel like no matter what, and I really, you know, maybe they can, but I really wouldn't bet on them. You just felt like something bad was going to happen no matter what, right? And to be sitting here starting a playoff run, and I do still have those scars, you know, I do still have that voice in my head that says, oh, look at this team. You actually think a team from Philadelphia is going to go back to back, like you're going to be some sort of dynasty like New England? You think that's going to happen? But truth be told, I'm sitting here as we go into the playoffs, and I'm thinking to myself, I really wouldn't bet against them. I wouldn't. And that's a beautiful thing, right? We haven't felt that way about a team for so long. This is indeed the golden era. And here's what I know. This right here, what we did today, this is an example of what comes from the golden era, right? Being able to get with friends and family, new friends, talk about the Birds, have a fun time. Thank you to everybody that came out tonight. And what I can promise you guys is this. As we go here, I don't know what's going to happen in the next round. We're going to be home, away. I'll be looking to get together. I'll be looking to hang out. So whoever's with me, let's do that. Gentlemen, thank you so much for doing this. It was a pleasure. Shout out to Julia.
Thanks, fellas.
Yeah, let's
for
go.
working with me to make this thing happen. Shout out to PHLY. Guys, just down the street, we got the coop, we got the bar. Let's go. Let's get it done. Let's have fun. And everybody, we wish you the best for this weekend. Go Birds, and let's do this thing back to back. Just real quick.
there you go.
Just imagine.
Right at the end.
Your Philadelphia Eagles are the back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Here's the thing. It's not that crazy. We're close to that. And we had so much fun last year. If that happens, I don't even know what we're going to do, but let's just take it.
Let's just win a game.
Let's just take it one week at a time. I got to
start that. I'm back.
Bring him back in there.
That's it. There's not going to be any kissing, Betty. There's not going to be any kissing. All right, that's it. Thank you, guys. Cheap Seats, we love you. PHLY, everybody that came down. You guys are my homies. Ride or die.
Oh, yeah.
Go
Let's
Birds.
go.
Go Birds.
Let's hit the bar. Here we go.
We all silly like the mayor.